Hey guys, welcome back. Everyone has the question, is pallets good for my business? Do you think that it will enhance my business? Am I making a huge mistake by getting pallets? Do you know what pallets I should get? Whether if you sell on Poshmark, eBay, Etsy, Instagram, any of the things, like you want to know this question, and I have an answer for you guys. But like I always say, don't go by only my word. You can look at a few YouTube videos. You can ask other people who's doing pallet pulls. I'm pretty sure that you guys already know a couple of people who's doing pallet pulls and everything like that. So I know that you guys came to this video to actually see like another opinion or any of the things. So I think that that's totally fine. Like, always do your homework, always do your research. If you got to look at 100 videos, if you have to go on 100 websites, like, don't always believe what someone's telling you, because I'm gonna be real with you, not everyone's gonna tell you about where they're getting their pallets from. Not everyone's gonna tell you how much they're paying for their pallet. Not everyone's gonna lead you through the process of buying a pallet. It's just not gonna happen. Why? Because you have too much of competitors in this business that literally just want to shop, and they're scared if they give you their source that eventually it's not gonna be enough of a product for them, which I honestly don't know how that makes any sense. But either way, and the reason why other sellers don't like giving you their prices on how much they paying for the inventory, because a lot of sellers that's buying pallets is really getting pieces for very cheap. I mean, especially like they say, oh, I paid $3K for a pallet. Yeah, that's fine, but how much pieces did you get in that pallet? Because you can very well get like over 1,000 pieces, which brings your cost of goods down to about $3 to $5, which is not bad. So if you're going in a live show, or if you're going on Posh or whatever it is, and you bought that item for $3, but you're selling it for like $50, or if you're in a live show, you're listing it at about $20, you're still making triple your money. You know what I'm saying? And we can't envy them, because the goal is not to lose your money. But again, you know, a lot of people is not giving you a door with a key in it to open it and be like, this is everything that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just not willing to give that up, and it's fine, because honestly, you have to do your own homework. You have to find your own sources, and where people always use that as a clutch, like find your own source, I get it. But at some point, you know, you could kind of lead me to you know, saying, hey, you know what, check out Helpsy Source, and hey, you know what, check out this, but don't give me a website that everybody knows about, because you're not really helping me either. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know, guys, I don't know. But here's the thing to break it down. You guys asked, is pallets worth me getting for my business? And the answer can be honestly yes and no. Let's go to the pros first. So the pros of pallets, of getting it, is that you are typically spending cheaper than you are buying single items. What do you mean? For example, going to Goodwill, right, where there's like $10 for a Maywell jeans, or like $15, and a pallet you're probably gonna pay like about $7 a jean, or like $5 a jean, which is typically better, because you know we want the most for our buck, and that's fine. Typically in a pallet, they have like different kinds of pallets. So you can get a mystery box pallet, you can get a manifested box pallet, which means that they actually know the brands and they got the spreadsheet of how much everything is costing and etc. So that's kind of good on that aspect. And then they have unmanifested. Some people actually love the unmanifested box, because they just love the thrift of the find of a hunt. Like, they love that process. So I think that that's really good as well. Like me, if I'm spending $3K, I want to know what's in my pallet. I guess it's just me. I'm not gonna buy a box of where I don't know where nothing's in it. I did that once, and no, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. So I'm like still waiting to flip off of that particular pallet. So no, that one actually wasn't good. So the pro on that is that yes, palette can be good to have a lot of quantity. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want a whole bulk of items and we don't feel like going thrifting every day. Some days you just want to stay home. Do I still have enough of inventory where I can actually stay home and still do my listings? Or do I have enough of inventory where I can stay home and still do my live show? This is things that's really important to figure out. Another thing is that what's another pro to palettes? Different variety of brands. So some brands might be really good and other ones you might get a low selling cost on there, but typically knowing different brands is always good. I mean, you do have your different tiers of palettes, so I'm not saying if you buy a palette for like $600 of like buy a palette for $600 that is going to be some Alexander McQueen in there. I'm not saying that at all. You buy what you get. So it is some high tier palettes, it is some low tier palettes. We'll get into that next, but let's stay tuned. Let's stay here. Y'all here? Okay. So it's a lot of different brands and palettes. That is awesome. So you'll learn so much of different brands. It's over probably like 50 different brands in there. Some that we know, some that we don't know. Why is this good? Because we as resellers are always enhancing our learning skills. We're also enhancing our brains and minds to know more brands. We want to learn the comps on it. We want to know the background of this brand. We want to know when it started, where it's coming from, all of the things that you can teach yourself on what's going on with the brand. So I think that in general is very good. So guys, funny part, I was just telling you guys about palettes and you wouldn't believe, I know that y'all see me running. Where is she going? I'm about to show you guys right now. It's happening, guys. I am outside because my car window is open and we don't do open windows, so we have to walk to my car. Oh, it's over there. We have to walk to my car just to see about the window. We're in my car. I cannot make this up. The window is literally left open. Not okay. Not okay. So we're gonna roll that up. And we're getting back to the video. Let's go. It's always good to know what you're selling, and your buyers want to know that you know what you're talking about, especially if you're on live selling. Okay, guys, another pro about having palettes is that if it's speaking live terms, right? Let's just, for here on out, let's kind of kick listing platforms out for a second, right? Let's kind of bring it back to like live selling a little bit, right? People love the hunt. This is a pro, because people will stay on your show all day if you showing different things. And the reason why I love palettes too, depending on what palette you get, it be the same items with tons of different sizes. So it'd be Good American from 28 to probably 32, or I don't know, like Maywell and all of the other things. But it's just different sizes of different things, because where a person is looking for a medium, another one could be looking for a small. So it gives you the option to really impress your buyers with the amount of inventory that's in that palette. And some people get shocked, and hey, it'll get you more views because people love the fact of you having their sizes. They love the fact of all of the different brands they're seeing, things like that. So I think that is really cool as well. What's another pro? Another pro with palettes is that, speaking on live shows again, or anything, but speaking on live shows, another pro is that you're getting your cost of goods so low that you can actually, you know, run your items accordingly. Now, I wouldn't tell no seller to, just because you bought your items $3 a piece of a cost of goods, that you should run it for $9. I strictly do not agree with running anything that's new, unless if it's worth it for $9. And this is the reason why I left Whatnot. I will not do dollar starts on free people on a whole bunch of number of brands that I have seen people do dollar starts and get disappointed for. Stuff sells so low that I am not the reseller that you're looking for. If you want me to sell my stuff low and be okay with it, I personally can't do it. So that's never gonna happen. Another pro is when you find a good company, and it takes a lot to find a company. It takes a lot. There's a lot of hidden secrets with these companies, because it's a lot of contractors that's actually, if you keep buying from them, then they want to work with you personally, and then they give you the inventory before they give the other person inventory. So it's a lot of behind the scenes. So for example, on Fox Liquidation, you'll see a Free People pallet up there for like $3,000, but a normal buyer of Free People that they're working with probably only paying like $1,000 a pallet. You know what I'm saying? So it's different relationship with different people. Yes, it sucks, but at the same time, if you're a loyal customer and you're buying from me, then I can treat you right and give you some deals off for it. So it's a pro in the sense of you're catching the deal on stuff. And honestly, as resellers, I'm not mad at nobody catching them a deal, because I love me some good deals too. So we're fine in that aspect. Let's skip to the cons.
Oh, we started? Okay.
Is there cons to pallets? Hell yeah. It's a lot of cons to pallets. If you order a pallet, and let's say you're just in a rush, right? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, you live in Colorado, and let's say Fox Liquidation have a pallet place that's in Philadelphia. Literally, guys, they do. Let's say they have a pallet place in Philadelphia. Colorado to Philadelphia, you're happy. The pallet is great money. It's like, let's say worst case is like $1,000, right? $700, right? So you're like, oh my God, I want it. So you put $700 on it, not knowing that it's a shipping fee for freight. So you have to pay $700 plus whatever the freight fee is. Could be like $700 to $800. You just don't know what it is until the freight company calls you. But honestly, Fox Liquidation will tell you, but it's a lot of money. And then another flaw is that some larger companies don't deal with freight, because freight actually have their own, pricing. So they'll tell you, hey, bring your own freight company. That can be risky, because your own freight company actually can have you lose the pallet. So that's not good either, because they say that they come in one time and then they're not here, and then they could deliver your package to elsewhere, and then it'll just be bad for you. So I say, like, really, really pay attention to the companies that you're looking at. Look around your area first. I know you guys hear it a tons of time about pallets. Look in your area first. Make sure that you're doing all your research. When you think that is enough, I promise you it's not. And then check these warehouses, guys. Look up different warehouses. Look up different like bin stores, or like sell stores. I know in New York we have a few bin stores, and it's not the Goodwill outlet, not what you guys is thinking. It's actually new stuff. It's like home goods and like clothes and all of the things. And on different days of the week, it has different prices and different sale margins. So I think that those are super fun too, because depending on what you're in there for, you can get a good deal as well. Another con is that some of the items that you buy in pallets just might not sell. Some stuff is just not trendy. Some stuff might not sell on LiveSell, Poshmark, eBay. What are we gonna do with those? Good thing is that you probably can bulk it up and do bulk sales. So on LiveSell, if something's not selling for me, typically I'll just add it inside of a bulk item, and then people love their chances of bulk items and starting it like a little lower. That would make sense. Different con with pallet pulls is that a lot of people don't do their homework, and they honestly just get like, oh, Target, let's go get that. Or they're buying Tommy Hilfiger and Macy's pallets, and while you're thinking like, oh, Macy's is a large store and people love Macy's clothes, it's not really the case, because Macy's have over 100 different store vendors that's in there that works within their store that you don't even know what brand people is buying inside of Macy's. Like, it's Tommy Hilfiger, it's you can find some Good American in Macy's, you can find Calvin Klein, you can find William Ross, and all of these brands. But 3 out of 4 of the brands I named is brands that do not do good in the resale market. So again, if you're looking for a palette, make it make sense. Don't just spend money on the palette because palette's the game right now, so I have to be in it to win it. No, absolutely not, because your palette will sit depending on. And then remember, guys, if you're doing live selling, depending on your audience, you have to know what they like, you have to know what they want. If you don't even have a good following, why would you go and pick up a palette of no good brands that's not gonna sell? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. I don't agree with it. I would never tell you to do it, because the chances of you making your money back is close to none. I'm telling you the raw truth. You don't like it, click off right now. It's okay, but don't go spending your money. Amazon is overrated. I'm telling you now, Amazon palettes is overrated. If you want a successful Amazon palette, you have to do like probably like Lowe's packages. Those are trendy. Get it. Amazon overrated, unless if you're doing home goods, something like that. Sometimes Amazon clothing palettes come with a whole bunch of no-name brands in there. I don't know who could sell that. Not gonna work. Target, please stop picking up that. Y'all give Target a break. It is done. It's done. Like, nobody wants Target. It's too much. Like, their home decor is okay, but all of them brands really just have to go. Seriously, don't pick up a Target palette. And then Macy's, y'all. Macy's is a good store, you know. Y'all gotta stop. You really do have to stop. The brands is not really popping. Don't go picking up all of these brands that makes no sense. Now, there are other palettes that's out there, like the bread and butters. Like, you have your typical like Eddie Bauer and Vagos, and what else? Lost my train of thought. That's the ADHD for you. It's coming back. It's coming back. Torrid. Either way, Adidas. What do we have? Under Armour. No, we don't want those palettes no, we just don't want that. Guys, your inventory have to make sense. It have to be where your buyer is going to purchase it. And if you're buying a palette, see, those brands are good if you just want to give it a try and you're buying it from a regular store or something. It is not good if you're buying it in the palette and you're not sure if your audience is going to want it. That's like me. But I know that my audience love free people. My audience love higher tier brands 100%. The free people that love the label, the faithful to the brand. Because why? Those are the people that I kind of brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? I started showing free people and unique pieces. And if I bring something that's J. Crew to them, they're like, what is this, Ariel? What is this? But when I bring free people, they're like, give it to me, please. We need that. You're the best. We have not seen that piece. And that's because they know what they want. So you have to know what your audience want. Another con is just that some of the items in the palette, you could have this is supposed to be 1,000 items in here. Why do I have 800 items? That's because a lot of the workers are moving fast and just putting stuff in the palette rather than really counting it and seeing what's everything that's on that spreadsheet. So you then have to do your homework to solidify that, hey, this is the amount of pieces I got. This is what you told me that was going to be in there, and I need this, please. And what that's then going to do is have you can contact whatever company. They're normally like really good at it, and they'll give you your money back, whatever the case is. Now, guys, we did pros, we did cons. Are y'all ready for a little sneak peek of the middle? It's always a gray area here. This is the gray area for you guys. Can you believe that people are buying secondhand palettes? So you ask me, Ariel, what are secondhand palettes? And I tell you, it is used clothing that they are broken up and they're putting inside of a pallet. So typically these run 100% cheaper. I'll show you guys on the screen. But let's go for example on Helpsy Source. They have like bin prices of clothing on there. Problem that I don't like about, you say like, oh my god, $300 to $500, that's a deal for the amount of clothes that they're giving. No, it's not. Because even though you're getting your clothes for like $1.50 each or whatever the case is, Helpsy Source, they really source bad. Like, I've bought like a used Nike palette from them, and it was horrible. None of them pieces was really sellable. It was bad. So I don't know if I would ever spend $500 and get whatever it is in that used palette. So be careful. Just because the price is right and it's looking like the items is tight, don't spend your money on something that you're not totally sure of. I would rather you get like a little box of any company that you go to rather than spending your money and just not knowing and totally being a bust, because it is going to be times where you buy a palette and it be a complete bust. 100% bust. That happens, guys. If I did not answer any questions in this video about palettes or is it good for your business, let me know. But my overall view of palettes, I will not lie, if you have the money to get a palette, and why do I say, were you trying to call me broke? I'm really not. If you have $5,000 or less, you might not want to consider a palette, or you might not want to pay too much on a palette. If you have probably $10,000, you definitely want to buy your first palette. Why does money matter? Because you will go broke buying your first palette. You know what I'm saying? You kind of don't want to do that. If you got 10 to 15, you can play with that. Anywhere from 8 to down, you don't want to really risk at, because you're still trying to build up your money, your financial situation, if that makes any sense. Be smart with the palettes that you're picking up. Not every palette is gonna sell good. Just because you see a live show of palette pulls, be careful on who you're watching, because a lot of people is not honest on where they're getting their palettes from. So you will think that, oh yeah, this is this and this is this. It's kind of not really the situation. A lot of the situations where you're seeing where people's doing palette pulls, some of their clientele and like some of their followings are like really good. A lot of people's is not. But you know, pick your poison on, you know, what you want to do for you, because you don't want to say, oh yeah, this person's doing good and I don't understand why no one's coming here. It's just not your scene. You don't have to do what everybody. That sounds good to you. Like, comment, and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys. But guys, I gotta go. Bye guys.